Hello Periscope, and we're glad that you can be with us today. I'm here to welcome Julia Penny, who's the latest person to join SWAT UK. Julia is joining us as Divisional Director of Technical, and she's come from Walters Kluwer. So Julia, tell us a little bit about your past role before we move on to what you're going to be doing with SWAT UK.
Well, thank you for the welcome, Mike. My past role at Walters Kluwer was as what we called a content manager for audit and accounting. So what I looked at was the needs of accountants for publications, whether they're manuals or books, online or in actual physical book form, to help them do their day jobs. What I did then was commission it and review material. So one of the major parts was actually the SWAT material that was produced for Walters Kluwer. I'd work with SWAT very closely on getting those products in tip-top condition for all of our customers.
Excellent, and of course we've worked very closely with Julia over the years. Julia, you're also very involved with ICAW. How did that come about and what's your roles there?
Well, that started a long time ago. Wasn't long after I qualified. About 21 years ago, I was working as a freelance lecturer, training students, and I found that I wanted some companions to discuss all of the technical aspects with, because I didn't have any of my own colleagues. So I joined the Thames Valley District Society Technical Advisory Committee. From there, that somehow developed into me also joining the main committee, becoming treasurer and then president of Thames Valley Society quite a lot of years ago now. And then that led me to be involved nationally with a number of things. So I do now have a rather long list of things that I do with ICAW. I'm chair of the National Technical Advisory Committee and the Thames Valley Technical Advisory Committee. I'm also a member of the Technical Strategy Board at the Institute. I'm a member of Council, which is the governing body of the Institute, and I recently became the ICAW's, or one of the ICAW's representatives at AAT, the Association of Accounting Technicians, as one of their council members too. So lots of things going on at the Institute.
Brilliant, and many of us have been involved with the Institute for quite some time, so you're not the only one. We've had several people here who've been president, Andy and James on National TAC, we've had other people in committees and so on. So it's really great to see that you're continuing and you're still going to be there doing that role through SWAT now. So I mean that's great stuff. If we turn to your new role now, Julia is joining us as Divisional Director of Technical. She's going to be working very closely with Andy Holton, who heads up the publications, and obviously Julia and Andy know each other from the work they've done at Walters Kluwer together. And so she'll be working with that, she'll be reviewing some of the publications and also writing material to go into publications, both Walters Kluwer material plus SWAT's own publications. She'll also be very heavily involved in the CPD programme, so you're scheduled in already for programmes next year. Be doing the audit and financial reporting updates, quarterly updates. And we've got you booked in for this year already, some in-house CPD for a number of our clients as well. Clearly what's happening in the audit and accounting side is going to be FRS 102. That's the big thing, and the way that's being developed into the smaller firms as well. So Julia, are the firms ready from what you've seen?
Well, it's a very mixed bag. Some of the firms are really getting to grips with the changes that are required, and particularly the bigger firms, or rather firms dealing more with bigger clients, are starting to understand, and there's definitely been a learning curve with the financial instruments thing starting to seep through into people's consciousness. However, there's a whole nother layer of change which we're now going to get for the small and the micro companies. So with the amended FRS 102 that was issued in July and FRS 105, which is for micro entities, this now catches all of the companies that were on Frizzy from next year, or if they want from this year. So this means all of the rest of the companies so far that firms thought, nah, they're not affected, don't need to change anything. Actually, it does need to change. And for many of them, there's an additional decision as to whether they go to FRS 102 light, i.e. the sections for small companies, or whether they're eligible and want to go to FRS 105, which is just for micros. So a lot of learning still to be done on that side.
And there's a lot of support material on our website. If you go in, there's a special page for FRS 102, which then links you to all the other materials that we've got on there. There's a free checklist that you can look at, not to sort of help with clients, but for you to prepare your practice. So don't just think of audit, think of the tax department, corporate finance, and all the other departments in your practice that are going to be caught by this. Julia, it's great to have you on board. We've really been looking forward to today when Julia is joining us. and I'm sure you will all join us in saying welcome, Julia, and it would be great to meet you over the time and work with you. That's excellent. So thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you very much. Very excited to be here.
Before you go, we will be recording this on and putting it up on YouTube. So if you haven't had a chance to see it live, it'll be there out on YouTube. And don't forget to look out for all the stuff that Julia's going to be doing in the future. Thank you, Periscope.